This is Mark Laughlin speaking for the Ambidextrous Gunfighter, reviewing the Viridian RFX35, a green red dot. Viridian, known more for their lasers, now offers a red dot sight with a green dot sight, a green dot reflex sight. Offering three models, the RFX15, RFX25, and RFX35. For RMSC, Doctor, and RMR mounts, respectively. Mounting the RFX35 on a Springfield Armory XDM Elite Compact 10. The mounting screws are too long for the XDM adapter plate. I dislike adapter plates. So I had to grind down the mounting screws included with the optic. Shield Sights includes a selection of different link screws with their sights. So I went to check to see if any would work. Nope. Different diameter screw for the RMR spec. Now, cutting the screws off with the optic mounted to the adapter plate is not ideal. It introduces particles into the sight, and I ended up smudging the lens and marring the bottom of the adapter plate, forgetting that the adapter plate overhangs the slide, thus showing its undersides. I do dislike adapter plates. Of course, that's not Viridian's fault. They introduce another layer of potential failure. They raise the sight higher above the bore. Note that the bottom of the RFX35's window is well above the top of the slide. Compare that to the MC2SC with a Shield RMSC where the optic glass is right at slide level. Plus, the adapter plate needlessly adds another 21 grams to the installation. Moreover, there was a slight gap between the front of the optic and the adapter plate when things were torqued down. I think this is an issue with the Springfield plate, since I had a similar and much worse problem with the Springfield adapter plate when I tried to mount an RMSC on the XDM. The battery. The RFX35 uses a standard CR2032 battery. Bottom battery installation, no problem. Changing batteries once a year or so, and really it isn't going to affect your zero. Verify, yes, but it ain't changing nothing for 99.9% of shooters. It's certainly beyond the noise of my own marksmanship. Going green, a green dot. Maybe there is some ophthalmological advantage of green over red, but I couldn't subjectively detect it. However, a big advantage for those who dry fire with a training laser is that you can easily distinguish between a red training laser hit and your green dot sights. Love it. That's perfect. Parallax. I experimented with testing parallax consistency at its edges. That is, once I zeroed the optic to my training laser, zeroing with the dot in the middle of the optic, I then checked to see that shifting my eye alignment so that the dot was at the right edge, the bottom edge, the left edge, and the top edge of the window was still getting laser hits to the point of aim. There is some deviation at really close ranges, but beyond 15 yards it performed perfectly. Trijicon SRO. The RFX35 really looks like the Trijicon SRO. But how does it stand up to the Trijicon sight? The reflex window size is very nearly the same, hence why they look so similar. The Trijicon is 16 grams heavier, partly due to glass rather than polymer window, and the height of each is within 0.05 of an inch. Both use the CR2032 battery. The SRO features a top-loading battery while the RFX35 is bottom. The bottom battery allows for a slightly slimmer base and therefore is more likely to permit co-witnessing with iron sights. The Trijicon SRO features 7075 T6 aluminum versus the 6061 T6 aluminum for the RFX series. A key advantage of the Trijicon offering is being submersible to 10 feet, while the RFX35 is IPX6, splash-proof, but not waterproof submersible. The RFX series of sights include a Picatinny rail adapter mount that is very snag-free and ambidextrous friendly, whereas Trijicon charges over $100 for various Picatinny mounts, and their mounts have those same big nut obstructions that I dislike so much on the ACOG. So much so that I have a video on castrating the ACOG. Link in the description. The Trijicon SRO offers a 5-year warranty, while the RFX sights feature 7 years. The elevation and Wendy's adjustments on the SRO are click adjustments of 1 minute of angle each click. The RFX sights do not have tactile or audible clicks, nor do they include like the adjustment wheels like are packaged with the Shield sights. Not a big deal, you just might have to fire a couple extra rounds to get it finally sighted in. But a final big advantage for the Trijicon SRO is that its operating temperature is rated to -40 degrees Fahrenheit, whereas the RFX is only rated to -4 degrees. Now, we experience those deep negative temperatures in Wyoming regularly. We'll see this coming winter if the RFX35 can dive deeper than advertised. Made in the USA, the Viridian product catalog claims made and designed in the USA on every page. When I contacted Viridian seeking a review sample, I asked if any of the components, like maybe the emitter, were made in China. Over the course of a few emails, the representative retreated from made in America to assembled in to packaged in to finally it's made in China. Sadly, another American company feels it's necessary to participate in gain-of-function collusion with the Chinese manufacturers. See my video, gain of function. I don't so much fault Viridian as its short-sighted customers in America and the West. Nonetheless, I do rail on American companies doing kinetic gain-of-function collusion with China, and I hope you'll spend the money, yes, even twice the money, to buy from a truly American or at least pro-Western company. But given where things appear to be heading, and that the strategic damage has already largely been done, I can comprehend how individuals might want to load up on some decent Trijicon Kinetic products. Viridian RFXs, Holosuns, Swamp Fox, and many others. Will I keep this sight on my XDM? Probably not. I love how the XDM slide tapers toward the top, but I dislike how the adapter plates hang over the sides, ruining this low drag design. And the XDM's irons are pretty good for those times when transitioning from the more common one-handed point shooting to two-handed sighted shooting. Not as good as the target focused reflex sight, but adequate. Plus, it's 1 ounce less weight, carry weight, and reciprocating mass on the slide, 1.1 inch less height above the iron sights. You eliminate the fragile optic, the battery as a failure point, and the 2 mounting points on the XDM. And then on the XDM, running the optic, the irons are just too low to co-witness as backup sights. It'd take some pretty tall suppressor height sights to get into the lower part of the window. With tens of thousands of laser dry fire practice, I'm pretty comfortable with point shooting, and that makes finding the dot pretty easy even on the tiny windows on the Shield RMSC or the SMSC that I have on my P365 XL. So if I were permanently outfitting the XDM with a red dot, I'd probably just go with one of these smaller sized optics, or in the case of Viridian, the RFX15. I don't need that big window to find the dot. I suppose there might be situations when shooting from awkward positions and you can't quite get your eye fully behind the pistol and are sighting with the dot on the edge of the glass. The bigger window might help. Otherwise, when shooting both eyes open, the optic body just disappears and you see the dot on the target, much like a laser, which Viridian is more famous for. I do think I'll use the included Picatinny adapter to try it on one of my rifles. I really like how the PIC adapter is smooth. No big vulgar mounting nuts to get in the way of ambidextrous maneuvers or to snag with the sling. The adapter puts the center of the optic a little less than 1 inch above the pick rail, so I'll probably have to use one of my shield sights risers or spacers to achieve the proper eye alignment. But we'll save that all for a future video. Not a bad product, and it's at a very good price point, but I'd spend the extra dollars to get the Trijicon SRO for the waterproofing, the lower operating temperature, and being made in the USA. Still, the RFX35 is a very affordable way to experiment with the SRO sized window on your firearm. And that green dot is great if you dry fire with a training laser. You are dry firing, right, with a training laser, right? And hopefully you're using the Mantis X training aid as well. It's Mark Laughlin speaking for the Ambidextrous Gunfighter. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.